The New York Times website used to have a little box in the lower right-hand corner entitled Most Emailed Articles. I think it has since been replaced by a list that's called Trending. Some 15 years ago, some researchers from the University of Pennsylvania did a study on the kinds of articles that made it into that box and the kinds of emotions that those articles produced in people. You might be surprised to learn which emotion was the most highly correlated with an article being shared around. Awe. Not fear, not sex, not righteous anger, not even surprise, but awe. Defined by the researchers as, quote, an emotion of self-transcendence, a feeling of admiration and elevation in the face of something greater than the self. They identified this factor after noticing that science articles seem disproportionately represented on the list. Why science articles? Because more than other kinds of articles, they can change the way we see the world, transform our understanding of something, render the ordinary extraordinary. Isn't that ironic? Science, which is so widely viewed as being at loggerheads with spirituality, in fact, gives rise to one of the most spiritual of human experiences, that sense of being in the presence of something transcendent and beautiful and mysterious. Well, this finding suggests that we hunger for that experience. We hunger to stand small and bounded before what is vast and miraculous. And we hunger to share that experience with others. And maybe this hunger in turn suggests that we contemporary humans are suffering from an awe deficit. That wouldn't be surprising when you think about it. The kind of weather or wildlife that used to have us quaking in our loincloths is now mostly a nuisance, notwithstanding some of the recent trends with global warming. There are few phenomena for which we don't have some kind of mechanistic explanation. Even that old standby of awe, the night sky, spinning its cold immensity above us, has been worn thin by light pollution and smog. Now, more than at any time, we live in an age not of awe, but of the dark night of awe, or as the French would have it, awe nuit. We find ourselves undernourished by wonder. Nothing in the unsprung jack-in-the-box of our daily existence phases us. We may look on impassively as time turns the handle and the music plunks along until our own mortality pops up like a slack-jawed skull and we are suddenly nonplussed because we have experienced so little awe to prepare us for it. Wait, the universe is larger than my solitary existence? I'm gonna die? I thought that was a joke. And I wonder if that is part of what Peter and James and John experienced up on the mountain with Jesus that day. I wonder if it's part of what they hungered for, maybe without even knowing it. Some encounter with how finite they were, how easily extinguished, how insignificant. The story does tell us that they were terrified. And maybe that terror even wakes them up a little bit to what a brief gift life is and how crucial that we pour it out for things that really matter. In a paradoxical way, this head-on encounter with their own mortality might actually be exactly the thing that gives them the courage to finish the journey with Jesus, straight on to Jerusalem and the cross from here, even as bumblingly as they do. And I wonder too if standing before the mystery of their glowing Lord and of their own eventual end, brings them any of the thrill of awe along with its fear. Mark's gospel never sugars things up with easy comfort. That's one thing I love about it. Its bleakness, its willingness to look despair in the eye. Even the end of Mark, in the earliest manuscripts, describes no resurrected Christ, just the women running from the empty tomb in terror and, well, awe. So this moment of transfiguration is in some ways the closest Mark gets to hinting at something miraculous, something through and beyond the tragedy of Jesus's earthly journey and our own. Well, we certainly find ourselves in the presence of contradiction here, don't we? Religious experience out of scientific findings, courage and even hope out of awe and fear. And I guess my point is simply this. In today's gospel, the very mortal Peter, James, and John, stand-ins for you and me, are confronted by a vision of the fundamental nature of things. That vision is paradoxical, frightening, and thrilling. It also feeds a hunger that they and we share. It warns that death awaits us all, and we do not have much time to gladden hearts, as the blessing goes. But it also hints that there's something bigger than we can see and know, for which there is reason for our hearts to be glad. Alleluia. Amen.